Good morning, everyone out there, and good good morning, everybody. My coffee has not really kicked in yet. I'm half asleep, but I figured I would try to knock out a quick video today because my friend Dirk is actually flying in tomorrow to do the basement floor. Oh my God, it's actually gonna happen. That being said, because of the situation down there, my entire house is crazy. My bedroom is masks everywhere. The living room, there's masks and shit everywhere that has to go downstairs. There's pinball machines. This is chaos, okay? Look at, you got Rambo knives, all kinds of weird stuff. But we're here to talk about masks. So I figured in this episode I would show you some artifacts of the Frankenshrine that are very special to me, and they're things that I would look at with Frank, and I really told him, I said, someday I would love to own these masks. And the story on how I originally saw some of them, I have to save for the final documentary and whatnot I'm putting out on Frank's collection. But oh my God, it was crazy. I felt like Indiana Jones discovering the Ark of the Covenant when I walked in this one room and saw these masks on this shelf that were sitting there for decades under these plastic bags. It was crazy. I have some of these masks here right now. I don't know if I should show them to you yet though, but let's get into some other things. And I don't know where this is gonna go, but we're gonna start off with two really rare masks by the late David Smith. All right, here we go. All right, first up here, artifacts of the Frankenshrine. This mask, Jesus Christ, this is what I deal with every day. You guys are in for a treat. I'm gonna scare the shit out of him. Ah! Where was I? Okay. The late David Smith, Stroke of Midnight Studio. In 1983, David sculpted his troll mask. And this is, no doubt, an incredible mask. The Stroke of Midnight masks are very coveted by collectors out there, especially old school collectors that were around in the 80s and early 90s. A lot of younger collectors these days probably don't know too much about David's work, unfortunately. Hopefully after seeing this video, some of you younger guys will start looking into David's work, because he is no doubt a legend in the community. Just look at this mask. It's crazy. This is Frank's original copy. I'm sure he got it directly from David Smith back in the day. This thing, so this mask, this one is dated 1985, Stroke of Midnight Studios. It has Troll written on the back right there. You probably, I don't know if you can, if it's focused or not, but it says Troll there, 1985 Stroke of Midnight Studio and Studios. This sat in Frank's main collection room, along with some other great masks, and I cleaned it up. I brought it home recently, cleaned off all the dust. He needs to get foam filled. In the process of me doing that, I scored another one, okay? Now let's take a look at this one. I just had my friend foam fill this last week. This is a gorgeous copy. Like, look at the paint on this one. You can see the difference here. I am guessing this is a later pull. David brought these back through the years and was making copies for people. I think you could have gotten them recently. This one has the 1985 Stroke of Midnight stamp. It's kind of cut off. It does not have the troll stamp though. That's completely cut off the back here. This one is exceptional quality, incredible paintwork. I have two of these. However, one of them is going to a friend of mine. Hopefully he won't see this video yet, but I'm gifting it to a friend of mine that really has been wanting one of these bad for a very long time. He reached out to me probably 3 or 4 years ago about Frank's. He goes, "Oh my God, Frank has the troll." I go, "Yep." And I acquired another one, and I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to send him. I'm probably keeping the original. Hey, what the hell? I'm keeping Frank's original, I believe. I'm going to keep this one because it was Frank's, and it is no doubt the original David Smith release from the early to mid 80s. And I've seen old VHS recordings of Frank's collection. This was sitting down there since the 80s. So that's the real deal. This is a later copy that is just gorgeous. And my friend, I'm sure, will absolutely be thrilled when he opens the box to receive this mask. So just 2 amazing pieces by an amazing artist. And those of you out there, you younger guys that haven't heard of David Smith, Stroke of Midnight Studio, or Studios, man, look into his work. I've got more pieces of his in the basement, in the mask room, and hopefully we will be going over those in the near future. So had to showcase these because that's a mask you're really not going to see in many collections, especially an original. All right, check this out. This is cool. This was sitting in Frank's garage. I walked by to go, "Oh my God, it's the Deadly Spawn puppet by Bump in the Night." This thing, God, when did he make this? I think this was probably made by Bump in the Night in the early 2000s, I believe. It's actually a puppet. And it's got a wire frame inside. Foam filled. All the little pieces are foam filled already, like there's foam stuffed in them. My friend Billy Kirkus said he thought this could be like a Bump in the Night prototype or one of the originals because it looks so different than his. I don't know. I told Frank's brother, I'm like, I gotta get that. Like, I gotta take this home. It's amazing. The image of this creature was in Fangoria in the early days, and I would stare at it. And it's just one of those things that I was captivated by in my childhood with that magazine, just staring at the image of this crazy thing. Way before I saw the film, just this one's in great shape. And even though it's a puppet, I'm probably going to foam fill his body and his head, keeping his mouth a little bit open like that, just to preserve it because this is so cool. Definitely a cool artifact of the old Frankenshrine. What else? What should we... Okay. This here. Let me carefully pick this guy up. So, this here, for those of you that know, this is a real deal, original 1977 Mummy 5000 BC by Don Post Studios. These have all, in most cases, withered away to nothing. Whatever latex they used was just completely crappy at the time, I'm thinking, on this particular mask. It's very thin. You rarely ever see originals pop up. And this was sitting on Frank's shelves probably since the late 70s. It is on a styrofoam head that was painted black, and there's paper stuffed around it inside. Thank goodness. Otherwise, this mask would probably be hard as a freaking rock. I told Frank's brother, though, I said, man, every time I come here, he's looking worse and worse and worse. He's drooping, like his mouth is drooping, his eyeballs, you know, he needs help. He was starting to mushroom on the bottom. See how it's getting flat? I said, you got to let me take this thing home and fix him and get him foam filled. Otherwise, it's going to be gone. And you do not see these. I mean, I've probably seen 2 or 3 originals ever. But man, if this thing just melted away to nothing, I'd be sick to my stomach. You know, I finally said, man, I got to take that home. And I'm going to work on it soon. And definitely going to work on it soon. Getting the bottom straightened out and reshaping his eyes and his face a little bit, and then getting him foam filled. Either I will foam fill this one here or send it to my friend. But other than that, the mask is beautiful. There's no cracks. Nothing is wrong with the mask, with the exception that gravity is starting to take its toll on it. I gotta preserve this mask. This is just a great old Don Post mask that is seldom ever seen. There's recent copies. You can get newer copies of it, but that's the original. Now I'm going to show you one of the coolest masks. That is from Frank's collection. It's a Don Post mask. It was customized, just crazy customization, and you'll never see another one like this. And it's not the Rainbow Carlisle in front of the camera. It is this incredible B. Garrett Theta mask. This mask came out in 1977 by Don Post Studios. However, it did not look like this. They made one version that was a little more colorful originally. Then it was said to be the grossest mask of all time. Like when it came out in 77, there were no disgusting masks like this. Lots of monster masks, lots of character masks, but nothing disgusting where eyeballs were falling out. The brain was exposed on the back of this crazy, you know, rotting corpse. There was no eyeball on this side. It's an open eye socket, you know, from the factory copies. They later toned it down. I've had several copies of the other version, you know, over the years, just real lame looking later on after they doctored it up and made it look less scary. However, Frank had this one customized. I think Rob and Kathy could have done this for Frank. I'm going to have to try to find out if the Tharps did this for him back in like the 80s or early 90s. But the paintwork is so cool. An eye insert was added like flawlessly. Like that eye insert is in there so beautifully. It looks like it's part of the original mask. It did not come like that from the factory. There's, you know, the little maggots are added to the back on top of the brain. Like somebody really took their time to customize this for Frank. And the colors, look at the green coming out of the mouth. This thing is amazing. And again, gravity started, you know, affecting this mask. I've been working on it a little bit, getting it whipped into shape, but this thing deserves to be foam filled. The original masks didn't have hair either. Whoever Frank had customized this thing truly brought this B. Garrett Theta to another level. And those of you that don't know the story on why this mask has such a strange name, letter B, Garrett Theta, Theta. So Bob Short sculpted the mask. Bob Short sculpted this mask at Don Post Studios. So the story goes, Bob Short put I think it was the master on a desk, or like the paint master, to be photographed for the catalog. And there was a note next to the mask. I don't know if Bob put the note there, but it said the letter B, then Garrett Theta. And it was someone's scribbled note to call this B. Garrett, maybe I think it was an attorney or something, but it had nothing to do with the mask. So then the mask and the note were taken, and it was cataloged as B. Garrett Theta because someone thought that was what the mask was supposed to be called, which is hilarious. It was not supposed to be called that, which is one of the funny little stories in Don Post history. It's all in Lee's book, The Illustrated History of Don Post Studios. Like I said, I'm half asleep. I don't remember the exact story behind the name of what the words meant, but it was to call someone, I think, named B. Garrett. And so this mask was later re-released in the year 2000 with a similar paint up to this, where the bone was more white in the face, the skull. And I wondered if this particular custom mask was the inspiration for the new color scheme on the 2000 released masks, because Rob and Kathy were there painting those masks. And I have a very strong feeling that this was the inspiration for that released look. They didn't go crazy with all the hair and the eyeball, but look at the similarities. See Rob Tharp holding this copy here. That's the 2000 release. What are your thoughts? I would say absolutely. So what else? Can I show you one more thing from the Frankenshrine before we end this morning video and get it online? Let me look around. Hang on. I am going to show you one more amazing thing from the Frankenshrine that I was crazy about. One thing I was crazy about in one of Frank's collection rooms. It's nothing you see in front of you here. I'm going to show you in a minute this lovely lady. Keep in mind there's a little issue with her that needs to be fixed. This is a very old original Henry Alvarez sculpture that was produced into a bust of the one and only Mistress of the Dark, Elvira. Look at this. So, this is the original. This is not one of the later copies that were available through Muckle Bones. This is the original, real deal. It went straight from Henry Alvarez directly to Frank. I've got notes from Henry and photographs from Henry to Frank talking about the Elvira and some other pieces, and this is just awesome. The issue is, obviously, over time, the clear coat, the gloss coat they used on the eyes and the teeth turned brown over the years. She looks like she's baked beyond belief. But that I'm going to redo and fix and make her look like she once did. I'm going to show you the original photos I have. Check this out. Look at her eyes there, and you can see the expression. I mean, Henry really caught a great likeness here with her, and this piece is so cool. She sat under a plastic bag for probably over 20 something years in Frank's room, and thank God she was under plastic, so this beautiful hair work did not get full of dust. She still got dusty though. I vacuumed her once, and I got a different attachment where I'm going to carefully clean and vacuum the rest of her clothing, and but luckily her hair is all beautiful, and I am going to redo her eyes and her teeth, and it's such a shame that happened, you know. But my friend, the mask doctor, Kelly Mann, told me there's a special process with a solvent I can use and tools to try to literally peel that clear out of there. But I tried that, and it's so thin, like it's not thick enough where I can grab it and pick it and use the solvent. It's so thin, it seems, that I'm going to screw something up if I keep trying to do that. And I'm going to paint right over the original finish there. It's smooth enough, you know. Plus, I don't want to screw up her eyebrow or eyelashes. She's got these cool eyelashes. But, oh my God. Elvira, the moment I first laid eyes on Elvira in the 80s as a young man, I lost my mind. So I have been a over-the-top Elvira fan since I was a boy. And here she is in my living room right now. You know, not quite the real thing, but so we're going to definitely work on redoing her eyes and teeth. Maybe I will do a video on that. We will see. Those of you that are wondering, she's really painted in detail in other areas. I mean, perfectly. It's pretty awesome. So, what else? I actually have some old Elvira. Here's something else Frank had, and it's original 1983 Elvira fan club stuff. That is a sticker. It says 83 Elvira merchandising. You get an autographed photo, and then part of her, newsletter. Here's an official Elvira fan club member card, and just really cool. So it'd be neat to maybe frame that next to her later on when she's all fixed up and made to look beautiful again. So this is no doubt an incredible piece, and I could not wait to bring her home and definitely do her some justice and fix her up and make her look good again. Glad you watched this episode. I'm gonna drink some more coffee and get this thing edited and put online. And I don't know, we'll see you soon with more content, especially on the masks. And there's some car stuff coming too. I may be running down to the Mecum auction in Florida in about 2 weeks. So keep your eyes open for that, those of you that are into the car stuff. And then hopefully after this weekend, my basement floor will be done and I can empty out the mask room once again and get it rearranged and set up for this TV show shoot. All right, guys, I will see you soon.